Hello, my loves. I'm going to do another chapter of Sideways Stories from Wayside School. It's the same day, but I took my hair down because my bun was giving me a headache. That was my bun was giving me a headache song. I hope you liked it. All right, this next chapter is chapter number 8, and it is called Myron. I have never seen an actual kid named Myron before in my whole life. This is Myron. Look at his fancy jacket. He's currently being eaten by a dog. I think this is going to be a good chapter. Myron had big ears. He was elected class president. The children in Mrs. Jewell's class expected him to be a good president. Other presidents were good speakers. Myron was even better. He was a good listener. But he had a problem. He didn't know what a class president was supposed to do. So he asked, "What am I supposed to do?" "It's a difficult job," said Miss Jewells. "But you can do it. You must turn the lights on every morning and turn them off at the end of the day." "What?" asked Myron. "As class president, you must learn to listen," said Mrs. Jewells. "I'll repeat myself only one more time. You must turn the lights on every morning." I heard you the first time," said Myron. "It just doesn't sound like much of a job." "It certainly is," said Mrs. Jewells. "Without light, I can't teach and the children can't learn. Only you can give us that light. I think it's a very important job." "I guess so," said Myron. He wasn't convinced. "Here, let me show you how to work a light switch," said Mrs. Jewells. "I already know how," said Myron. "I've been turning lights on and off all my life." "Very good," said Mrs. Jewells. "You'll make a fine president." Myron wanted to be the best president ever, but it was such an easy job, he thought, that anyone could do it. When the school day let out that day, Myron stayed behind, and he turned out the lights by flicking the switch down. "Excellent," said Mrs. Jewells. On his way home, Myron heard a horrible noise. First, there was a loud screeching, and then a sharp squeal, and a roaring engine, and then the very faint sound of a girl crying. Myron ran over to see what happened. Dana was bent over in the middle of the road. "What's the matter?" asked Myron. "My dog Pugsy was hit by a car," Dana cried. "Who did it?" asked Myron. "I don't know," Dana sobbed. They sped away." "Well, that's not important," said Myron. "We've got to try to save Pugsy." Pugsy lay unconscious in the street. Myron carefully picked her up and carried her 2 miles to the vet. Dana cried at his side. "Don't worry, Dana," said Myron. "She'll be all right." But he wasn't really sure. He gave Pugsy to the vet and walked Dana home, and then he walked home himself. Dana was so upset she forgot to thank him, but Myron didn't mind. He thought that was what being a class president was all about. The next morning, before he went to school, Myron went to Dana's house. Pugsy was there. She seemed all right. Dana petted her and Pugsy licked her face. "See, Myron, she's all right," said Dana. "The vet said you brought her in just in time." "Hi, Pugsy," said Myron. He petted her. Pugsy bit his hand. "I guess she doesn't know you," said Dana. "She was unconscious yesterday when you saved her life." Dana's mother put some medicine and a Band-Aid on Myron's hand, and they drove the children to school. They were late. They ran up the stairs to Mrs. Jewell's class. The room was completely dark. "It's about time you got here, Myron," said Mrs. Jewells. "We have no lights." "Why didn't someone else just turn a light on?" asked Myron. "Because you're class president," said Mrs. Jewells. "Show Stephen how to work the lights. From now on, he will be class president." Myron showed Stephen how to turn on the lights. He flicked the switch up. At the end of the day, Myron showed Stephen how to turn the lights off. He flicked the switch down. After a week, Stephen finally caught on. He made a good president. The lights were on every morning. Myron, who was president for only a day, was the best president in the history of Wayside School. It was just that nobody knew it. That's the end of that chapter. Love you!